welcome back to another book review. So we are doing Rhymes with Witches today by Myracle, which is, of course, the sequel to Bliss, which I just reviewed not that long ago. Now, given how much I enjoyed Bliss, I whipped through this in a day because I was so excited and expecting something on par with that. But something felt familiar about this one, and I went back on my Goodreads account and I checked, and I apparently read this book back in 2012. I hadn't read Bliss yet, but I read this one because I don't think I realized it was a part 2 of the story. So I probably got more out of it this time than I did the first time because I didn't know the backstory of these characters. Or at least one, anyway. But, I have to admit, for how good Bliss was, this was a letdown, because this is much more on par with, like, how Myracle typically writes, which there's nothing wrong with. I am not knocking her style, just the one was on such a pinnacle that I knew darn well it'd be really difficult for her to live up to that level of writing a second time when it's so far removed from literally everything else she's ever written that, yeah, I shouldn't be surprised that this one feels more like one of hers. But that said, it does raise questions like, did she have a ghostwriter help write Bliss by any chance or something like that? I'm not making accusations, just throwing out possibilities here, because, yeah. Anyway, so, breeze through this in a day. Essentially, the gist of this one, it's like 40 years or so after the events of the first book. So we're up to, I guess at the time of writing, was modern day. And same school and everything, kids still going there, except that now, kind of like in Mean Girls, there's like a clique called the Bitches, instead of the Plastics. And they seem to just have like this uncanny hold over the entire school, to the point where it feels supernatural. And that's because it is. Now, one could argue, well, it just takes place in the same school. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah, about that. So, the events of the last book, remember there was like the one character, Sandy, who then renamed herself Laurel after she became one with the demon Liliana. Yeah, so she's still at this school, although now she's a teacher, and apparently a high priestess as well, who takes sacrifices from whoever's group of the bitches is in any given year, and basically their offerings grant them popularity, but like the whole caveat on that is that they must steal an item from another student, and for 1 week, they will steal that student's popularity. Or something like that. Yeah, there's some plot holes with that. But, I mean, as a plot device, it's fine. Especially for one that is considerably shorter than the other book. But regardless. So obviously it raises a lot of ethical problems for the characters involved. And obviously, like, every year there's, like, a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior that are always in this clique. It's always different girls, but it's always a set of 4, one from each grade. So all of them have to go through the whole making peace with this thing, and with like taking any little trinket, offering it to Laurel, and then magically, boom, popular as ever. But of course, our main character has to buck the system, and basically it's a fuck around and find out kind of book. It feels like Paranormal Mean Girls is like literally the best way I can describe the plot of this book, because that is essentially exactly what it is. And this book came out after Mean Girls, so I mean, reasons to say that it is definitely a possibility that it could have been an influence for this book. But anyway, yeah, I kind of breezed through it, waiting for it to get good, and then it kind of just never really did. Not in the same way that the first one did. I kept hoping it would, like, suddenly take a turn and just, like, get really intense, but it, not in the same way. Like, it kind of does, but to a much lesser degree. So I'm like, yeah, read the first book. If you're really dedicated to it, you can read the second, but don't expect it to be on par with that first one, because it's not. I would give this like a 3 out of 5. It's fine. It's light reading, but I mean, like, is it anything particularly noteworthy? No. Is it anything particularly all that unique? Also no. Is that a little disappointing? Yeah. And having reread through it that quickly, I'm like, ah, that's why I have no conscious recollection of this book, because I probably whipped through it just as quickly when I read it the first time, and then was like, huh. And probably didn't really give it two thoughts and moved on to the next thing and never thought about it again until now when I revisited it. So, it wasn't my favorite thing ever, but again, it's not terrible. I don't want it to come off wrong because I greatly respect this author, especially for what all she does. I think she's great. I very much enjoy her books. This one only hits as a disappointment because I was holding it up to bliss. So, anyway. Yeah, just my 2 cents on that one for whatever little it might be worth. Probably nothing, but anyway. So that is it for this one, and as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below, make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more, it's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.